Trustees meeting of January 23rd. If we could please start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First on the agenda, we have public comment. If there's anybody here that would like to speak, please come on up to the podium.
Thank you.
Are you waiting for me?
Yep, we're waiting for you.
That was it. Let me know when you're ready.
No, I'm ready. Oh, no, yeah, when you're ready.
My name is Mark Untockley. I reside on Georgetown Drive in Bloomfield Township. My public comment is related to the pension fund. Firstly, there was a drop from last year. The actuarially determined contributions for the pension fund are based on January 1 through the end of December performance. So the fund went from 238 million, and the numbers aren't finalized yet, but around 216 million. That's a 22 million drop. I'm expecting to see, and maybe they'll talk about it tomorrow, a jump in the actuarially determined contributions to over 6 million. The next report, I believe, is due in June. So I hope that this is taken into account in the next budget reviews. And also consider the impact of the COVID money. We have the police, public safety is here. They have a lot of projects that could be geared towards that. We could use those dollars that we already decided to spend this year and move them into the capital investment fund for future payments going out. 1 million extra a year in the pension is pretty significant, and having those resources available would be beneficial, especially for public safety. My other public comment is on water and sewer. We have over an $8 million surplus year to date. That's significant, especially after hiring water and sewer consultants to help get things under control. And I do know we have some large projects, but even with the large projects undergoing, I don't expect a significant drop in the fund reserves of over 20 million in the last accounting report. So that's also concerning. And especially taking into account that the discussion of adding additional fees for water sprinklers, if you have that second meter. If you have a 1-inch line coming into a house and you split it twice, you're not going to get double the flow out of those two lines. The pressure won't stay the same. And I think the fire department would agree to that assessment with regards to their fire trucks and operating their vehicles. They want a larger line coming in so they could split it off and maintain water pressure and flow rates. So it doesn't make sense to add the full weight. To be sure, there is a cost associated for collecting the data on the second meter. Thank you.
Is there anybody else that would like to come up and speak? I'll close public comment. Next, we have the board minutes of January 9th, 2023. We've all had a chance to look them over. Unless there's any changes, I'd look for a motion.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Shostak. Support by trustee Faki. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That does pass. Next, we have police department recognitions. We have officer introductions and a promotion. We have Chief Gallagher.
Good evening. Thanks for letting us come again. Tonight's an exciting night for us. I know our guys on the road are busy. Usually we're a little bit more packed in here, but I know they're busy on the road. And unfortunately, we were going to introduce Stefan Mills tonight. He's one of our new officers, but he came to us from the UP as an officer up there, and he was called back on a court case. So he was unable to make it back in time for this, so we'll do it at a future meeting. So tonight we're going to announce a promotion starting today, actually. Brian Kaschek, come on up, Brian, was promoted to the rank of detective. Before I do that, Jim, come here for a minute. Jim Moschel is retiring effective February 1st, and he's here obviously in support of Brian. Brian is taking Jim's, when I say replacing, you can't replace Jim, but he's taking that position and doing it. So I didn't know Jim was going to be here tonight, but on behalf of us, in front of the board, we thank you for your 25 plus years of service to us. I will honestly say, I think all these guys back here will agree with me, you will not find a harder working person than Jim Moschel. It's a big loss to our agency. There's many, he's done many things from his cheat sheets. Jim, come stand over here so they can see you now. Look at me. He made cheat sheets back when we were all brand new and he was still on the road.
Saved my job.
It was to save his job, but it became a resource that we almost look forward to, and we're mad when we didn't get an update on this when the laws changed. I mean, it was a great resource guide. You didn't want this guy looking for you. If you had a warrant or if he had to talk to you, you do not want him to be that. You don't want to be on his bad side when it comes to that. He had 2 cases that he wanted to finish before he left, right? 2?
Still have a week.
He still has a week. One of them, how long were you looking for the guy? 2 years, and he caught him about 2 weeks ago. He was looking for him for 2 years. There's a gentleman down in Texas that he sent a letter to that he's been on since he started here. So I am excited for Jim for this new chapter in his life. You will be missed here. This is always your home. This wasn't a plan for you, but you're here, and I think it's important for the board to recognize the work you've done for us. And again, you're irreplaceable, but we expect your phone to be on for Brian to do it. A fun fact, Jim was Brian's primary FTO. Jim was in Troy SIU. Brian replaced Jim in Troy SIU when he came out. Jim's retiring, and Brian is replacing Jim as the detective. So, I mean, you can't get much better there. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
So tonight we'd like to promote Brian Kaschek to the rank of detective. He started in our detective bureau today, so here's your badge. Brian started with us on April 11th, 2005. He's been primarily assigned to our road division, where he's been a field training officer for the last 9 years. You were an evidence technician for a period of time as well. So he's trained, I would say, a majority of our young guys here or had a hand in training them. Brian always comes with a positive attitude, very even keeled. I've never seen this guy get flustered or shaken up. He's status quo there. He served in our Troy Special Investigation Unit from 2011 to 13, right? You did 2 years? And he was also a member of our accreditation team during the initial accreditation, which was a very long process of doing a self-analysis of our own agency. Every policy, every operation that we did, he was part of that crew, and he received the Chief's Merit Award with that team of about 10 people. So that's we're up for reaccreditation, and I have our meeting on February 7th. I believe we will be awarded our reaccreditation. So that is a credit to you. Brian's married. His wife is here. I'll let him introduce his family, Jackie, and his kids. And his mom and dad came from, close to the Lansing area. So we're excited to have them as well. So you want to introduce your family?
Yeah, my mom and dad, Jeff and Linda Kaschek, and then my wife, Jackie, and my son, Alex, and daughter, Abby.
So.
Okay.
You have to stand here.
My task is to make it official in the records of the township. And so at this point, if you just raise your right hand and please repeat after me. I, Brian Kaschek,
I, Brian Kaschek,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
and I'll support the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and I'll support the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and I will faithfully discharge my duties
and I'll faithfully discharge my duties
as detective
as detective
for the Charter Township of Bloomfield
for the Charter Township of Bloomfield
Police Department to the best of my ability.
Police Department to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Do you want
Thank
to
you.
say any words?
What's that?
Do you want to?
Man of many words.
No.
I'm not much for words,
That's a
but
danger of not much out there.
appreciate the new challenge and opportunity from the township and board and police administration, and just the support from my coworkers and family. Thank you.
Okay. Next on the agenda is to consider the approval of the client services agreement with the EMS. There, Chief Leroy.
Good evening. I come here tonight to, it's a modified contract with Medicount EMS Billing out of Cincinnati, Ohio. They've been our provider for EMS billing for the last 4 years. And in two-year contract increments, it was renewed with no changes last time. This time, the contract was proposed to be renewed under a new rate at 4.75% as opposed to 4.25%. So that was a 0.5% increase over the previous contract. However, they did stipulate that the agreement would be for 4 years instead of 2 years. It provides the township the ability to forecast out budget-wise over a longer period of time. And as we've seen with everything around here, the costs are going up. It locks us in for a longer period. Medicount has provided this service for us after an extensive RFP 4 years ago. I believe it was five corporations were bidding the project, and I went back and reviewed those RFPs from 5 years ago, and this rate is still cheaper than what was in those RFPs in prior years. I did call our other neighboring departments too, and that the new rate is still cheaper than their EMS billing companies that they are using. So I feel that this is a good fit for Bloomfield Township as well. The billing company, Medicount, has done anything that we've asked them to do, and any issues that we've had have been very receptive and solved any of the problems of our residents and people that have used the services, and anything that we found, they have been very receptive and made any changes for us immediately. With that, I would like to ask that you approve the new contract at 4.75%. The contract has been reviewed by Dirk. He had no issues with it, and it even had a couple of enhancements that benefited the township down the road if we were to opt out of the agreement and things like that. So with that, I would like to ask that we approve Medicount EMS Billing as the provider for Bloomfield Township.
I'd like to make a motion that we award the contract to Medicount EMS Billing for recommendation.
Motion by trustee Murray, support by trustee Barnett. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That does pass.
That was easy. Thank you.
Thanks for all the homework and the back information. That makes it a lot easier to look at it.
You're welcome.
Next, we have payroll and vouchers for January 23rd. We've all had a chance to look those over. Unless there's any changes or questions, I'd look for a motion. Motion by trustee Barnett.
Support.
Support by trustee Faki. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That does pass. And our last motion.
I don't know how you guys adjourned last meeting, but I'm here to make the motion. I move we adjourn.
Motion by clerk Brooks.
Support.
Support by trustee Murray. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That does pass. We'll see you in
It was a
2
moment
weeks.
of discussion with you.